Flag shows that everything is clear at the back. The Brazilian Grand Prix is go. Prost gets away. There was a very quick start at the back, but leading into the first corner, it's Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna goes through on the inside and takes second.
Michael Andretti went off on the, well, there you see Michael Andretti off on the outside, and that'll be a big disappointment for him. A very short Brazilian Grand Prix as Ayrton Senna got inside Damon Hill quite predictably. A good start by Senna, but Hill quite rightly taking it very cautiously after his bad opening lap in South Africa. And here we see the start again. Now there's Senna going inside, and Michael Andretti on contact there with another car. I can't quite see who that is. And two cars off.
I think it was Riccardo Patrese, but we'll soon be able to check. But anyway, those two cars gone off at the start. Why no, it wasn't Riccardo Patrese. So Alain Prost, there they go. You just saw the flash of the McLaren going off, and now it was a Ferrari, so it was most likely to have been Jean Alesi who started ninth on the grid, making a terrific start behind Andretti. But now it's Prost leading, Senna second, Damon Hill in third position. In fourth place it's Alesi, so if it was a Ferrari, it was Gerhard Berger. And there's the replay. My goodness, that's a big one. That is a very big one indeed. You saw on the replay a colossal impact, and over the line goes Prost leading, Ayrton Senna in second position, and there was Martin Brundle out of the race on lap 1 in the Ligier.
I saw Schumacher making a bid to get past Alesi's Ferrari, and incidentally it was Gerhard Berger who tangled there at the start with Michael Andretti. Gerhard Berger off at the outside, and that is Martin Brundle walking away from his Ligier. We don't see how that happened.
Well, Martin Brundle does not have luck at the beginning of the season. Last year he had a bad run in the Benetton at the beginning of the season, and the same thing is happening again for Ligier. But on the second lap in the 71-lap race, Alain Prost is already impressing his mark in Brazil. He was almost 2 seconds faster than Senna in practice, but as you can see, Senna is holding on well, considering that he's a lot of horsepower down in the McLaren.
Yes, and he was struggling to be 2 seconds slower than the Williams all through Friday and Saturday practice and qualifying. Prost, we know, takes it nice and easy at the start and builds up into his race speed, looks after his tyres, and I'm quite sure Prost is taking it very easy. But most impressive in third place is the way Damon Hill has approached the opening laps of this race. He's taken his time and he's going to play himself in gently, and that's very sensible after a dramatic start in South Africa. But Michael Andretti had a tangle in South Africa in the early laps of the race. He's had another one here. He qualified better this time, but the American is certainly so far struggling to get to grips with his newly chosen career in Formula One.
So behind Ayrton Senna in third place, it's Damon Hill. Then in fourth position, it's Michael Schumacher. In fifth position is JJ Leto in the Sauber. And in sixth place, it's Riccardo Patrese. So both the Williams well up, both the Benettons well up. Just the McLaren of Ayrton Senna left out of the two that began, because already there are 3 major retirements. Andretti and Berger coming together very, very forcefully indeed at the start, and Martin Brundle out. But meantime, Alain Prost back in racing after a full season away last year of the Australian Grand Prix in 1991. Has got all his flair back. He had a tremendous weight over him in South Africa because he knew that on the Thursday after the race he was appearing before the World Council of the governing body of the sport, charged with disrespect, and he could have been suspended. Well, there was no problem. He was found to be very much not guilty, and now he's driving for McLaren at Donington. You can see the yellow flags are out, and in 2 weeks' time there is the European Grand Prix at Donington as Damon Hill moves right up on Ayrton Senna. And there's the
that caption on your screen is actually the heart rate of the driver. They've got Ayrton Senna wired to a radio signal sending out his heart rate, and interesting to see that in the corners and then on the straight. But of course, that's the heart rate just from the physical exertion is liable to be well up around 130, 140, and then of course the pressure of the corner and driving right on the limit can take it up to higher peaks. What we need to see is more interesting is to watch it all the way around the lap. But Senna starting to come under pressure now from Hill, who in turn is coming under pressure from Michael Schumacher. But it's when they get out just after this little complex and they go down to the bottom of the hill, and they've got that third gear left-hander which they're coming into now, and then they got this long uphill straight, and they build up when the wind was behind them in practice to over 300 kilometers an hour.
And this is where Damon Hill, with his superior power, could close up on Ayrton Senna and start to challenge for second place. And the Englishman's going to be very, very careful indeed, because he will still have branded in his mind what happened to him in South Africa, when in the pressure of being right under Ayrton Senna's wing on the first corner, he spun out. And now Alain Prost is nearly 5 seconds ahead of this battle for the two Ford engine cars. That's the McLaren and the Benetton, and the Renault V10 of Damon Hill, who is inching up on Senna all the time. Still a Lacey 5th, still Lato 6th.
Yes, probably right to say that Damon Hill, but he did start this race very conservatively and sensibly, I thought.
And they're into the complex of bends now from turn 6 up to turn 11. And Damon Hill is now getting to be in a position where he's close enough to take Ayrton Senna as they come up the hill here and into the tremendously fast left-hander, which leads into the top straight. Damon Hill going for it. Now he's in a position to try and take second place. Let's see if he does it. He's got the power advantage.
Yes, and he shouldn't have tried to get inside Senna there. He needs, and Senna going to protect the inside. And I think Senna will leave his braking very, very late. Hill can dominate the corner from there, and Hill has done it. And that was good driving, because Senna didn't give way easily. I was surprised Senna didn't go to the inside of the track all the way up the straight then to force Hill a long way round. But that is Hill likely to be gone now, and you see that Hill stuck to his guns. Senna tried to unnerve him, but Hill always had the dominant line for the corner. Now, Hill will start to get away, and Hill stretching quite a lot already, and of course Senna is now going to come under pressure from Michael Schumacher.
Now this is good news and bad news. Good news because Damon Hill is up into second position. Bad news because Ayrton Senna will be dispirited by this. He will keep on fighting, but the Brazilian is driving for McLaren on a race-to-race basis. He hasn't signed for the rest of the season. He's known to be putting terrific pressure on the McLaren management for more money, but equally important, he's known to be putting terrific pressure on Ford to get the same series of engine that the Benetton team behind him have got, because Michael Schumacher has got a more advanced form of the Ford V8 engine than McLaren have, and if Senna can't get more power, never mind more money, there's a danger of him not driving for the rest of the season. His place might be taken by Mika Häkkinen. We've heard there's a possibility even that there'll be 3 McLarens at Donington in 2 weeks' time for the European Grand Prix. I hope that is so, because not only will it make the race more interesting in itself, but it would mean that Ayrton Senna would be driving there. But we've got to hope that Senna can stay within sight of Damon Hill, and the Englishman is driving a magnificent race, because even with the power advantage that he's got, to have taken the 3 times world champion as convincingly as he did was a very big feather in his cap.
Yes, this would have done Damon Hill's confidence an enormous power of good. The fact that he drove the opening lap so sensibly, and that he took his time, and that it wasn't as difficult as he might have thought to get past Senna when the time came. He should now be in a much more relaxed mood. That should help his speed. In the meantime, he'll be able to get away from Senna, I'm quite sure, because apart from anything else, Senna has got his mirrors full of Michael Schumacher, and his main concern will be to defend third place. way up the hill now. Interesting, because these two cars have similar engines, and there's a big argument from McLaren, who want the air valve engine. The engine in the Benetton is reputed in straight terms to have 20 more horsepower, but the straight line speeds in qualifying and practice didn't altogether suggest that. But then McLaren have different electronics, and of course they have Shell fuel as opposed to the ELF fuel in the Benetton, and they seem to be going well.
Now, while you watch Michael Schumacher challenging Ayrton Senna, what's going on in the rest of the race? We're on lap 13. Alain Prost is leading by 9 seconds. Damon Hill is in second position. There are the other four: Senna, Schumacher, Alesi and Leto in the top 6. In 7th position, it is Wendlinger. In 8th position, it is Philippe Alliot. 9th is Johnny Herbert in the Lotus. In 10th position, it's Marc Blundell in the Ligier, who of course was 3rd in South Africa.
Did an extremely good job for Grand Prix racing last weekend by dominating his first kart race and showing real class. In the meantime, their top man, Michael Andretti, over here, still struggling to get to grips with Formula One, but we give him more time because he certainly made a better showing in qualifying here at Interlagos than he had done in South Africa, and there was an improvement there, but he comes with a reputation of being a tremendous charger and racer from America, but so far he's charged twice and charged into contact and off the road, and that is a worry for the future. Schumacher closer to Senna. Now let's hope our producer stays with this shot all the way around, because this is as close as Schumacher has been, and of course it's the corner onto the straight that matters. The straight, Senna going for the inside. Now will he stay there? Senna going for tires. Senna into the pits, he's peeled off, and I was just saying it's difficult for Schumacher to get any closer than that on that corner, because it's very much a wing corner, and the disturbance of the air caused by the car in front will always be a problem.
Well, I wouldn't mind looking at this tyre stop. Oh, I suppose the camera's in the way, but why say it? It's a stop-go penalty. Well, well, for some reason, and I can't tell you what it is, Ayrton Senna has been penalised. He's been shown the black flag. He's been told to come in for a mandatory 10-second stop. And meantime, of course, he's really up against it now, because Schumacher has gone through up into 3rd position behind Damon Hill in 2nd place. Alain Prost, the race leader, and Leto is also up. Leto is in 4th position, and Alesi is 5th, and Ayrton Senna is well down the field. And it's beginning to rain. It's all happening.
It certainly is, because I didn't see Senna commit any what I'd call stop-go offence on the track. He wasn't weaving excessively, in my opinion. And the other thing that surprised me, and although I must confess it's a new rule and I'm not clear as to what he should have done, but I'm very surprised that he didn't take on tyres by stopping first of all at his own pit, changing tyres, then stopping at the control tyre for 10 seconds, because that still would have been less acceleration and deceleration time than making the having to make a tyre stop subsequently. And I would have thought the clever trick then, because we're just about at tyre change time, that Senna should have stopped at his own pit first, then gone for his 10 seconds stop, and that way he would have it would have been more economical in the overall scheme of things. Interesting. Now you heard the traction control then working on Prost's car as he came out of the corner. That apparent misfire, remember, that is the engine cutting one of the cylinders to reduce the power, and of course this is the computer doing the job for the driver, and something that is a matter of some regret to everybody in Formula One now, in that they have at last realised. You see the oil flag there, that is to point out, and they're starting to pick up spray. You can see the spray now off Prost's tyres, and the track is getting wet. So, now, I wouldn't be at all surprised if this rain is covering all of the circuit. We're trying to look out of the back of the circuit to see if it's raining down the back, but it looked worse here on the start-finish line.
Actually drove last year. He's won 6 times in Brazil, but he's also had a lot of seconds and thirds. Brazil is for Prost, but Brazil does not seem to be for Senna.
Yes, it works like that, I think, Murray, for all drivers. They have, and it's nothing to do with the way they drive. Sometimes you're lucky and the rain is really coming down and Senna is still charging on. And it's wet, much wetter here than around the rest of the circuit. And that, of course, is why people, but Senna is coming in now. Is he going to put on wets or is he going to put on more slicks? Because whilst there is cloud about and wet tyres for Ayrton Senna, he's still got the labels on, France, thanking you. Look at that. Still with their labels on.
6.9 seconds now. Senna's got an advantage. The others will have to come in, notably Alain Prost. Remember, in South Africa, Alain Prost very sensibly came in immediately after Senna to change tyres. That's the best time to do it, so that you don't lose any time to the man who has changed to a better tyre for the circumstances. And there is the race leader, Alain Prost, on his 29th lap. Surely he must come in at the end of this one to change onto wet tyres.
Well, he stayed out, and I think that Senna has gone for a bit of a gamble here, because Damon Hill's coming. So Damon is in for tyres, he's on to wets, and that's a sensible thing to do, because these things are pretty nasty to drive on slick tyres when you're, or certainly to race on slick tyres. Traction control working with the misfire as Damon goes away, but that's a deliberate misfire. And we were all agreed in this business that getting the car pointed straight out of a corner and then just being able to floor the throttle and have a computer decide how much power goes out is very bad for Grand Prix racing, and happily that amongst other driver aids, computerized driver aids, are going to be banned next year. The rules are still being debated, and I think it's healthy that they are being debated properly as to whether active suspension, for example, goes, and Suzuki in the middle of the road in a terrible mess.
Indeed he is, and that makes the 7th retirement. Sets the safety car. SC means safety car, which means pace car. Now you can see this is mayhem here. They should have come in quicker to change for tyres. Suzuki is blocking the course. That means they're going to have the pace car out. It's going to be a desperately difficult race to follow from now on. And first of all, they've got to get the footwork Mugen off the circuit and clear the debris. And we will try and... I'm just trying to identify who that... It looks like Eric Comas running across the track to me. Eric Comas from the LaRouche team, and it was Katayama. So the Tyrrell is out, and there is Prost. Prost has gone off. Well, this is quite amazing.
And he's knocked his nose off, and I tell you what, Senna may have just done the clever thing here. He took a gamble. He came in what was probably a bit early. It's a big storm now over the circuit, but with the safety car out, Senna will be able to stay on it. And now the rules, and people sliding all over the place here. The track absolutely awash, and the cars literally float on these tyres, and that's going to be a bang. That was the Prost incident. That was a replay of Alain Prost going and hitting a Lacey. And there is the safety car. Now the safety car has to pick up the leader, but does the safety car know who the leader is? That is Johnny Herbert, I think. Or...
I'll tell you who the leader is. It's Damon Hill. Damon Hill, and not only is the leader, but he's out on wet tyres. And that must be Michael Schumacher, because we already know, of course, that Riccardo Patrese is out of the race.
And that was certainly more than the tyre change that Michael Schumacher was having. The whole team had descended on his car. And that looked like a Lazy still going, so he got going again. And it was a Minardi, we understand, that... and there's Senna skating around, and Senna off the track, but trying to pick up the pace car, but he's got back on the track and may have just nerfed his under tray a bit, but He's in a lot better shape than a lot of the cars. Now the safety car, they have the safety car picks up the leader, and the leader has to stay behind the safety car. Before that, other cars are waved through, and they form up behind the safety car. Now, anybody who goes into the pits for tyres, if the safety car is on the pit straight, they are held by the red light when they want to leave the pits until the whole field that are in a queue behind the safety car has gone past. And this is the controversial bit about the new rule, because in America, where the safety car rules work very well, and we don't understand why we haven't copied the American rules, other than the fact that egos seem to suggest that they don't want to do it. This is Senna.
Yes, there was actually in America they did not stop the clock. The original safety ruling was that the clock was stopped, but whatever, Ayrton Senna is keeping going, and the race has not, as I can see it, been stopped at the present moment. But look at the people who appear to be. Suzuki's out, Katayama's out, Prost is out, Barrichello, Barbazza, Patrese, Brundle, Andretti and Berger. There's hardly any cars left, and they've got to clear that debris. That is the Suzuki footwork car.
Are you saying they've changed the rules since South Africa, then, Mario? Because in South Africa, the problem was the initial. There's Senna's heart rate. The time keeps going, but that, of course it does. That was in South Africa, but the problem, the controversial bit that isn't the same as America, is that there's a red light at the end of the pit road when people want to come out. So if they come in to change tyres or to have any sort of a service, which is the trick in America that makes it exciting, they can't get out again. But if the safety car is going past, whereas in America they can blast out of the pits and then they can join the queue.
And Senna and Schumacher through. The safety car is giving it lots of welly now. The course is fairly dry here, and Warwick closes up on Hill. And is Senna going to close up on Warwick to try and get past the Mugen as quickly as he possibly can? Now it's critical. Don't forget that Derek Warwick is well behind, and into the pits comes the safety car. The Brazilian Grand Prix restarts on lap 38, and it's all one race. And Damon Hill sprints away over the line into the 38th lap in this 71 lap race. The course is wet. Hill is on wet. Senna is right up behind him. He's got ahead of Warwick, and now Schumacher is trying to get past the Englishman. And this is the supreme test for Englishman Damon Hill as Johnny Herbert goes into the pits and Michael Schumacher gets past Derek Warwick. So the first three in respectively Williams, McLaren and Benetton cars are, I was going to say, all together, but Derek Warwick shuts the door on Michael Schumacher, who therefore is losing time and distance, but now gets past the footwork Mugen and sets about catching the Ford V8 powered McLaren of Ayrton Senna. Well, the excitement is well and truly with us again now. There's 15 cars left out of the 26 who started. Michael Andretti has been helicoptered away to hospital, but he walked to the pit after he had crashed, so we hope it's nothing more than delayed shock. But Alain Prost is out of the race, and so he is not going to get his 10 points. The Frenchman, 3 times world champion, went out of the race on the wet, knocked the nose cone off his Williams, and so now it's a battle between the inexperienced Damon Hill. This is only his 4th Grand Prix, and Ayrton Senna, the 3 times world champion, who is driving in his 144th Grand Prix. And I must say that if I had to put money on it, I would put it on Ayrton Senna, because Damon Hill, sensible and mature as he is as an individual, is very inexperienced in Grand Prix terms in comparison with Senna behind him. And all 3 of them have changed from dries to wets and back again to dries. Now look at this, and Senna of course is on tyres that are slightly warmer than those of Damon Hill, and he's really pushing the Englishman now, and we're on lap 43. Schumacher has had a stop-go for some reason, and Senna is challenging for the lead, and Senna leads. Oh, Senna uses all his superior experience and takes the lead in the Brazilian Grand Prix from Damon Hill.
And that was inevitable, really. Damon had to feel his way into the tyres. Damon has done the right thing, quite honestly. Rather than fight Senna, Senna already had a lap and a half's experience in the conditions, and that was good driving by Damon, because he can now tail Senna, and he can get this lead back. And he's done absolutely the right thing. If he'd fought him, he could easily have gone off the road. Now, Schumacher in for a stop-go, and that's put Schumacher out of contention. So the Brazilian Grand Prix now comes down to a straight fight between Senna and Damon Hill.
And Jean Alesi is in third position. So, as you look at Schumacher, who is fighting back now and is behind the Larousse Lamborghini, I can't see it must be Philippe Alliot, because we know that Eric Comas retired from the race. No, it is Comas, he's rejoined. So Schumacher has got to get past the Larousse, and the race order now on lap 43 out of 71 is Damon Hill leading. Ayrton Senna leading, Damon Hill in second position. Jean Alesi has gone into the pits now, and you can see that Ayrton Senna, with a 1 second lead when the computer punched up the figures, is easing away now from Damon Hill in second place. And Hill has got to start to challenge soon and use that power of the Renault V10 engine.
Yes, but first, Damon needs to play himself in. There's no hurry. He's got some 18, 17, 18.
Behind them, it is still Mark Blundell. Then a lap down, the second Lotus and Zanardi in sixth place, and Senna is into his last lap.
Yes, and as the skies darken again, that it won't be a problem for now for Ayrton Senna. He has an enormous lead, and could bucket down with rain, and he'll still tiptoe round to the line. He just wants the mechanicals of his McLaren to hold together, and he's waving already. Don't do that. Remember what happened to Nigel Mansell in Canada a couple of years back, when he started waving to the crowd before the end of the race, and Sod's Law bit him. But a wonderful victory for Ayrton Senna, the crowd going absolutely wild. And to hell with negotiations and money. The important thing for Grand Prix racing is that this victory, if such it is, because I hate to see a driver wave before it's finished, it's so many things can trip you up, but the important thing is that this will encourage Ayrton Senna to stay for the season, and that's what we need. We don't mind what he gets paid and what his negotiations are. We want to see the best driver in Grand Prix racing, the best driver in the world by a long way. We want to see him racing in Grand Prix racing, even if it is an inferior car. As he comes to the flag, he could still beat Alain Prost for the championship.
And it will be his 37th Grand Prix win, and Ayrton Senna, to the delirious delight of his countrymen, wins in Brazil in his own time. So slows right down. This is the best thing that could possibly have happened for Grand Prix racing, and Senna's looking for that Brazilian flag, which is always ready for him, and here in Brazil he's got it. Now I say this is the best thing that could possibly have happened for Grand Prix racing, because so many people feared that Prost and Williams were going to dominate Grand Prix racing in 1993. Well, Damon Hill has finished second, but Ayrton Senna has won a magnificent victory. There is Damon Hill, and in third position it's Michael Schumacher ahead of Johnny Herbert in the Lotus. So McLaren wins, Williams second, Benetton third, and Johnny Herbert about 4 car lengths behind in the Lotus finishes in fourth place. Mark Blundell in the Ligier, making it 5 different constructors in the top 5, finishes in 5th place, the last one to go the full 71 laps. Sandro Zanardi finishes in 6th place. Philippe Alliot for Larousse, and that's a good finish, is in 7th place. Alesi is 8th. In 9th position, Derek Warwick, excellent in last year's footwork. In 10th position, Eric Comas in the second Larousse, encouragement for them. 11th and 12th, the two Lola Ferraris of